Hello again, my beautiful people, Jamaican youth in the building. Yes, again, and in this one, we're talking about Steve McClaren. Well. The Jamaica Football Federation has posted on their Instagram page that the new coach of the Jamaica Reggae Boyz is Steve McClaren, the former England manager and was former now head coach or at the coaching staff at Manchester United, apparently in his second stint at Manchester United. Big news, big appointment. We're here to talk about it. Before we get into it, I want to ask you to do the usual. Please hit the like button as it helps the video to go out to more eyes. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please hit the subscribe button as it helps the channel to grow. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Former England manager Steve McClaren now hired to be Reggae Boyz head coach. Wow. Well, this is a big news coming out of the Jamaica Football Federation, as former England manager Steve McClaren is now currently hired as the head coach or the manager for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz. And I wish him all the best. As a Reggae Boyz supporter and as somebody where wants to see the team do well, I wish him all the best. I hope he can iron out all the kinks in Jamaica's current state of football and ultimately qualify us for the World Cup in the USA in 2026. However, the job is not going to be easy. And it's going to take some getting used to on the part of Steve McClaren. I mean, if we look at Steve McClaren's record, as we say, he was a former England manager, but he never really lasted that long. He failed to qualify England for the 2008 Euro. So I think he was sacked, but he had some good stints at 20 in the Eredivisie, and he also coached at Manchester United in not in managerial roles, but on the coaching staff. Played, coached at Middlesbrough, and just had in general a good stint as a manager in England. Now, Steve McClaren is a big name. I mean, the truth of the matter is anybody who England would have trusted to coach their team would have to be somebody of some repute. So this coach comes in with some amount of pedigree, but the truth of the matter is that he hasn't really been a head coach since the 2018-2019 season, coaching Queen's Park Rangers. Be that as it may, he was recently part of the Manchester United coaching staff, and now he is at the Reggae Boyz. There are some pros and cons, I think, in this hiring. I think some of the pros are because he's a British manager, he can relate to a lot of our players, because a lot of our players play in England, majority of the squad is made up of British-based players now, including the likes of, Leon Bailey, who is currently on suspension from the team. But we hope that Steve McClaren can come in and solve that issue and kind of mediate. Hopefully Leon Bailey might be willing to give it a shot again, because it's a new coach and a new era in Jamaica's football. So we will see that. We also see, as we said, there's a lot more English players, Ethan Pinnock, Amari Bell, Mikel Antonio, Demarai Gray, even though he's based in Saudi Arabia right now. But a lot of the players are English-based players, so he might be able to relate to the team a little bit better. The other pro is that there are some English-based players that have been on the sidelines that may have wanted to represent Jamaica, but for one reason or the other hasn't been able to. Maybe Steve McClaren can get those players over the line now, the likes of Reece Nelson, Mason Greenwood, Mason Holgate, Morgan Gibbs-White, you name it. I don't know if he'll necessarily want all of those players, but, I think he could at least be able to command a stronger presence in terms of getting those players to come and play for Jamaica at a faster rate, because going into the next 2 years, we don't have time to play around, and we will need everybody who wants to be a part of the train to get on board right now, as, the next 2 years will be focused on qualifying for the World Cup. The other pro, I think, is that the type of respect that he will get from the JFF may be superior to any other coach that we have had before, because let's face it, he's probably one of the most high-profile coaches that will ever coach Jamaica. I mean, I guess we can think about the likes of Bora Milutinovic and what's his name, Wilfred Schaefer is probably the only two other coaches that would be, high profile in the way that Steve McClaren has been. Not excusing, avoiding talking about Rene Simoes, who qualified Jamaica for the World Cup, but he wasn't on that high of a profile when he came into the job. But these were high profile coaches that came into the job right off the bat. So, I think the JFF will respect Steve McClaren a little bit more. I hope from the JFF there is no tying of the hands, where there's a quota system, and allow the coach to set his own agenda, because at the end of the day, you want to qualify for the World Cup. So, let him qualify us for the World Cup, and allow him to use his methods to qualify us for the World Cup, as opposed to us trying, or the JFF trying to tell him what to do. So those are some of the pros. Of course, there are a lot more things that he brings to the table. I think the professionalism that he will bring, the players will kind of respect him, and probably be willing to play for him right off the bat, even though he still has to earn their respect. But I think it hopefully will be a good look for us. I want, let me leave that for the end. Some potential cons for Steve McClaren is, I can only see if there is anything from the JFF. If the JFF try to tie his hands with a quota system, I hope that's not there, because if we do that, then can we truly assess the job that he's doing? Because if you tell him, so him can't do this, him can't do X, him can't do Y, that means you're not truly giving him the job too. So that's a potential con. I hope that doesn't come around. I'm also kind of hoping that we don't resort to playing, the type of old style of football that we saw, in the early 2000s when he coached England. That style of play, I'm not saying that, with him coaching at Manchester United, obviously he probably has modernized his approach, but that old, go down the flank, squirty, not really having much of a clear identity. I hope that's not the style of football that we're playing. And I hope more than anything that we can possess the ball. I hope this coach can come in and help us to be able to possess the ball against quality opposition. I'm not talking about possessing the ball against the likes of Dominican Republic and Damrep, even though we had a problem with. I'm talking about top-notch opposition like the USA of the world, the Mexico of the world, and so on. We need to be able to, possess the ball against top-quality opposition. So that's really my appeal to this new coach. Please help this team to be able to possess the ball. But in any event, still, I mean, I wish him all the best. I mean, Jamaica's new coach, and we all need to get behind the coach and support the team. Know that we have the search has gone on. I kind of wanted a Argentinian or Spanish coach, but the truth of the matter is England is playing good football now too, even though they haven't won anything, but they still have consistently gotten to the Euros finals, and they are playing good football now. So I hope that we can see some replication in Jamaica's football. So I wish the coach all the best. Welcome to Jamaica, Steve McClaren, and I hope you have a successful stint as Jamaica's coach, and that the fans will come out and support the team, fill the stadium and support the team as we move forward to qualifying for the World Cup. All right, I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching again, everybody. On your way out, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Until next time, take care of yourself. Walk good. I'm out.